Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video talking about pressure passing and how to combine it with more movement passes. So movement passing, people generally think of more like toreando, knee cuts, something where you're standing and you can move around. And pressure passing, people I guess generally think of something like double underhooks like this, maybe an over-under pass series. There's one where people will like trap a butterfly hook like this and pass from here. But it's anything where you're kind of dropping your weight down on them. Realistically, I don't think there's a ton in common necessarily about how you do a double underhook pass and how you do an over-under pass, right? So I'm gonna talk about how I like to incorporate pressure passing in a way that also fits well with like kind of movement and how to combine them. So the first thing to understand, we're just gonna start with understanding like toreandos and knee cuts and how I set this up. So when I approach someone and they're on their back, I'm looking at their leg like elevation. And I break it down into low, mid, and high. So low is what I would say is like parallel to the floor. In this case, the person's gonna be very open for like a toreando or a knee cut because I can just control the legs and walk around here. If I wanna do a knee cut, you have to trap a leg first. It's already at the perfect angle for that, so it's really easy to start entering it for some knee cut variation. Mid is what I would say is probably the most difficult or annoying, which is the guy's feet are aimed around your chest. In this case, for me to do a toreando or a knee cut, I kind of have to get these feet down first, right? And so his feet are often looping and it's a little bit difficult to deal with, okay? So that's low, mid, and then high is almost self-stacking. So all I do here is once I come in, I start to look for the legs down, he keeps the feet up even a little bit, or even if they're mid, I just go like a C grip like this underneath both ankles. I'm gonna pin the ankles over the head. Once I get here, I get both of my knees locked in on the lower back. So once I pin the knees in the back like this, I got the ankles down, I'm gonna switch both hands here and I'm gonna grab the lapel. So I get the lapels on both sides here, right? I keep my knees in the low back and I can kind of pressure here. It's really uncomfortable. You can take your time, right? You can work your chest in here and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start looking with this knee first to drop over the bicep and my left hand is gonna come across here. Okay, it's gonna come across here to get this grip here. This right hand, I'm now gonna slide low on the lapel. If I need to pull it out a little bit, that's fine. I'm gonna wrap around here. Look at my right leg here, right? So I have this one on the back now and I can take my time here, right? I control here, I control his hips, right? And like you can really cook them here too, right? So then I work here, I have that arm pinned with my left shin. And now as I move a little bit, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna dig my head in and drop him. Notice with this low lapel grip, my arm is locked under his back like this. It's really hard for him to move anywhere from here. Doesn't matter how good you are at recomposing, you just completely lock their hip down. You get the pass and then you can build from here. Of course you can go straight for like a paper cutter choke from here, but it's just a really strong pass position. Something else to understand about combining those pass systems is that the good thing with the movement passes sometimes is you may be in a match and there's like 30 seconds left and you need to pass now, right? In those cases, movement passes are really good. The guy almost doesn't even see the pass coming. It's like you hit the perfect timing and you're just past the guard, right? And that can be really good because sometimes you need the pass now. That being said though, sometimes it can take a lot of energy and you have to move a lot. The pressure passing can be really good where if you're up 2 points or it's even and you get the guy into a bad position, you're burning his energy out and you're doing nothing. So if a guy, I may be moving a lot, right? And we're here and I'm like looking for toreandos, we're doing all this stuff and he leaves his feet high for a second and he's used to all this movement. If I can pin him here and lock him, once I get these lapels, I don't have to pass now. I can sit here and I can really use my knees to get all of his weight on his neck and pull. Some guys will just turtle immediately. If I spend a minute and a half here just cooking him, by the time I get the pass, all of his energy's gone. He's psychologically broken. It's a terrible position to be in, right? And you just make it last as long as you need. So that's a great thing, right? Especially if you're up by 2 points or if it's just even. But that being said, you may be at the end of the match and there's a minute left and the guy's willing to just hang on the rest of the match, right? And in that case, you may need to back out the speed. So I urge people to only do pressure passing, and a lot of people are really attached to that like pressure. They just love crushing things, right? If you only have pressure passing, try to add some movement passes in. If you only do movement passing, try to add some pressure passing in. Because they both have their benefits, and there's no reason to ever build your game off of one thing. You really want to have a well-rounded game with certain specialties.